Our innovation came about as the result of actually trying to address a problem we saw with transportation. We knew that there were some people that were having difficulty getting to the food shelf, or if they got here, getting home from the food shelf. And so we were trying to think up a transportation solution, and suddenly it occurred to us to, rather than try to get the people to the food, let's try to get the food to the people. And we're able to secure a grant from Hunger Free Minnesota, also with additional support from our Catholic Charities donors and the United Way of Central Minnesota. Purchased a vehicle, had it retrofitted, and started rolling with it a little over a year ago, bringing food to various sites in the St. Cloud area. The innovation came really as the result of 3 things happening in one day. And that had to do with an individual that came in. He had been discharged from the hospital, came in here to get food before he went home. He had a caseworker in another part of Catholic Charities who happened not to be working that day. So the person he was counting on to get him home wasn't available to him. And he didn't know what he was going to do. He didn't have cab fare. He wasn't able to do it. The other person was a person who came in to use the food shelf, who was sitting in the lobby after the food shelf closed at noon that day, and told us that her roommate was coming to pick her up, but her roommate had to work till 4. The third was a woman that day who was very excited because her neighbor was bringing her in, and it was going to be the first time in 2 years she was going to be able to keep the meat she got at the food shelf rather than having to barter it for transportation, for a ride to and from here. So that's really what got us thinking about, ooh, we're missing the boat with some people here. So one of the things that we really learned is just because there's food available doesn't mean everybody can get to the food. And we were sort of moving along thinking, you know, we're serving upwards of well over 2,000 households a month here, thinking who else could possibly need it? And then finding out that there were people out there that simply weren't able to get here. We learned that. But we're also just we're learning a different side of our clients, being able to go into the space that they live in. And we get a lot of great thank yous and support from them as a result of being able to get food to them and helping them feel a little bit more secure about their access to food. I think it's important to remember that just because you do something well doesn't mean you can't be done better. Just because there's a lot of people that may be using what you're offering doesn't mean there aren't people out there that need what you're doing but can't get to you. And so you just have to be open to seeing that, hearing that, thinking about that, and it'll come to you.